Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Sexual, a.k.a. Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show. Cousin Tracey.
What's up?
Episode 66.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know we gotta title this, you know what I'm saying?
The birthday
episode. You know what I'm saying? Thank God, you know what I'm saying? Friday, turned 52. Tuesday, Cousin A, who's a friend of the show and been on the show, he turned 52. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Look at y'all getting
a
old.
lot of birthday celebration going on for the bird seeds. You know what I'm saying? Good times. And it's not over. You know what I'm saying? It's not over. You know what I'm saying? We still got a couple days left. We partying for the rest of the month. So
I hear you. I'm down with it.
There we go. There we go. Today, as you see, in the cage, on the couch, this is legend. You know what I'm saying? This is legend.
If you know, you know, right?
If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're
about to find out.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
Had the opportunity. We were at Rutgers Camden together. You know what I'm saying? We're both in the Rutgers Camden Athletic Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? We've played on the same court together. During pickup balls, I picked KARLA up. Like I got KARLA. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Let's run these other jokers off the court. You know what I'm saying? You know, blessed that we can call her a friend. You know what I'm saying? And she took a little bit of time out of her busy schedule to come up on the couch in the cage and just talk to our viewers for a little bit. So, KARLA, before we get started, just say what's up to the people. Just say hello.
What's good, guys? How y'all doing out there?
And again, thank you. Thank you. We definitely
you.
appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it. Today, you know, we just want to talk a little bit about, and you've heard Cousin Tracey speak passionately about this, you know, the lack of feeder systems for girl sports in the city of Camden, and I'm sure that applies to other urban cities as well, so we'll get all into that. KARLA, if you don't know, you know what I'm saying, she is basketball in the city of Camden. One of the greats, you know what I'm saying? She's a product of the city of Camden, played, and we're just going to pick her brain a little bit, and, you know, because sometimes they might want to hear somebody else's opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Before we get into letting her tell who she is, for most of y'all that watch and those that don't know, I didn't attend Camden High all 4 years. I went to Camden Catholic. And while I was at Camden Catholic, I had the likes of playing against their squad at the time, and it was KARLA, Tracy Wilkins, it was some pretty girl, Lizette, pretty girl. So they were seniors my sophomore year, and we played Camden High, and I was at Camden Catholic, and I heard when you're in the basketball world in Camden, you knew about the girls at Camden High, the KARLA Robinson. You knew about Sandra Brown from Wilson. You heard about Pork. You knew about all these girls that came before me, these women that came before me that was ball players. But I didn't have the pleasure of playing at Camden High. I played at Camden Catholic. So I'm sitting on a bench my sophomore year, chilling, watching my squad kind of get terminated by Camden High. And for those that think Camden High's program wasn't stellar, Camden High's programs in the 80s was stellar. Did I want to go to Camden High? Absolutely, I did. Did I live in an area where I could have went to Camden High? Absolutely, I did not. Could I have gotten to Camden High? Eventually, I did. So I watched them, and I'm watching them, and then the girls, big girls on my squad fell out. Coach looks down the bench and says, "Tracy, get in." I'm like, oh. But in my head, I'm like, this is my moment. Because if I can go up against them, and when I get on the floor, they always happy to see me because they kind of know Lenny Hall's niece that goes to Camden Catholic. But listen, to be on the floor with them and the likes of them, it just was an amazing feeling because, like, they were major in the 80s. Like, they were major. And somebody that came, I'm 3 years younger, and for somebody that came behind them, like, amazing. Just amazing. So
definitely,
I'm happy to have you here. It's an honor. It's an honor to call you a friend. It's an honor to call you my OG. It's an honor to know you. So we might as well get this rolling. Let everybody know where you went to school at, where you from, who you are, and all of that good stuff.
All right, let's go. I'm from out east side, East Camden, 300 block of Moore Street. But when I was growing up, the left side of Moore Street was Woodrow Wilson, and then the side I was on was Camden High. So growing up playing ball, I had no clue of the east side players, and I really didn't have a clue of anybody that was going to Camden High or anything like that either. I attended Camden. First I attended Parkside School, so even though I was traveling over the bridge, I still didn't know anything. and that happened to be when I first discovered basketball, when I was at Parkside School, 4th grade. Came back over to East Side, 6th grade, played at East Camden Middle. That's where I met Cindy Brown. And tried to play on the basketball team. I was a little chubby. I quit. That's something that nobody probably ever knows. I actually quit a basketball team.
See, we always find out
Yeah.
something.
And
We always find out something. I would have no idea.
And after that, there was no more team. So I went through middle school just playing by myself. My father, Mr. Huff, he was the head custodian in like almost all the schools. When there were public schools in Camden. He was there at Sharp, Davis, East Camden Middle, so many schools, and that's where I learned to play. Actually, just in the gym when my dad was working. Went to Camden High School. Funny story again. My father was a big fan of Camden High, and I've never seen girls play basketball before, and he took me to the Camden High's game. I was in 8th grade, and that's where I saw Patricia Holland, Cindy Brown, and I'm like, man, I was just so in awe. And you know, I shared a story with them just recently. That's where I learned my game, from watching them. It was the first time, and went on from there.
Now, what year you come out?
I came out in 1985.
85.
And again, it was some great players that were younger than me. Again, we mentioned Anita Pope, Tawanda Preston, Mozella Smith, Ruth Golden, Tracy Wilson. Great players. As a matter of fact, when I graduated, they had won the championship, I think, that year after.
Gotcha.
You know. My first year of college was actually at Monmouth University. I got a 4-year scholarship, and I happened to lose that scholarship because of the death of my father. I wanted to come home, and I sat out like, I think, 5 years.
Oh, yeah?
I sat out.
See?
Right after I left Monmouth, I sat out for 5 years. During that time, I had my son, and I don't want to say I was sheltered growing up, but the only thing I knew was Dudley Grange and Utah courts. So when I walked, I'm an avid walker, I don't drive. So I happened to walk down past Rutgers Camden, and you know, I wanted to get back into school. And I'm like, man, who can I talk to? What should I do? So I said, okay, I know athletic director. Let me just go and see who he is. So they set up a meeting, and it's Wilbur Pony Wilson. And I said, you know, I'm looking to get back into school, and I play basketball. And he asked me what year I graduated. I told him, and he said, "KARLA Robinson, where you been?" and right then and there, I knew I was going to go to Rutgers Camden. I had no clue that it was even there. And here I am, I was 24, 25 years old. And I just happened to walk on campus, and
and the rest is history. Now you in the Hall of Fame. She walks on and walks out. A Hall of Famer.
You know what
look
I'm saying?
at that. In my words, look at God.
You know what I'm saying? Now, yes, I knew you went to Monmouth first.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was 5 years
man.
before you. I didn't even realize that.
It was 5 years, and actually, within those 5 years, I wanted to go back to school, and I was playing in Camden High Gym. And the coach from Essex County comes walking in the door, and he says, what year you graduate? I said, man, I graduated already. And he says, you want to go back to school? Sure. At that time, I had like 13 jobs. I was working at J.C. Penney. I was the like manager of Rita's Water Ice in Philly. You know, so I said, sure. So those 2 years, I said, well, it was the summertime. I said, let me get acclimated back into education first. And stayed this summer at the Y up in Newark, and I ended up getting pregnant, coming back home, had my son, and that was those times. Yeah, so I knew I had to do something.
That's what's up. And that's during those times, that's when me and KARLA got cool.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I did my little thing at Lehigh. We all know the story. We talked about it. I wound up back at home in Rutgers Camden and met Karla on the basketball court.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? And the rest is history there. You kind of alluded to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to ask it anyway.
Yeah.
Were those the only things that made you get into the game of basketball? Just playing it, and then 8th grade seeing the girls playing it and things like that.
That was it.
Okay.
Well, when I was in 4th grade at Parkside, Scott Grimes, friend of mine,
Okay.
Scott Grimes, he had a basketball and he put it between his legs. And again, I'm just like, my God. I know you're probably thinking like, what's wrong with you, Karla? You're athletic, you don't know anything about these sports. But when
Not
I
at
saw
all.
him do that, that was like the first time. And it just captured me
Gotcha.
for some reason, like, how he do that?
Right, right.
I tried to run track.
Okay.
And in 4th grade, and the coach was like, "You're too slow," and I'm like, that stayed with
Right.
me.
Okay.
That
okay.
stayed with me
Okay.
going into basketball.
Okay,
Because
okay.
I wanted to be the fastest on the
Got
court.
you. That's what's up. Well, that goes right into the next question. When I was going to say, why should important for girls to start playing at an early age?
Okay.
Started playing 4th grade, Hall of Famer. But why though? Like, just why? Like, why do you think it's important?
Just with females in general,
Mm-hmm.
we want to keep them safe. We want to keep ourselves off the street.
Mm-hmm.
And the men, when it comes to men's sports, and they're just dominant.
Right.
And girls should start early. You're just learning about life lessons.
And for girls, all children, sports. I emphasize sports because it helps with their attitude and their disposition. It helps them learn how to overcome adversity, and it teaches them how they just can't have a nasty attitude. Like, you have to be able to be coachable, right? And you got to discipline, and you got to start at an early age.
That's right.
Because discipline doesn't happen overnight.
True.
It
Definitely
doesn't.
true.
And if you have a type of coach that instills that, you're going to go a long way. Long way. It's a shame now that again, I live in Pennsauken now, but I teach at Thomas H. Dudley, and I still don't see too many of the female athletes.
Right.
We didn't have a team this year. The boys, I don't believe, did, but they were interested.
Right.
But there was just no girls.
Right. And I know
That's
you talked about
we talked about
feeder-
the lack
feeder
of feeder
situation,
program,
yeah,
the feeder program for girls. The feeder program in the city is null, just about. And when you have little girls that are interested in sports, a lot of times they have to play on boys' teams because we don't have the access and ability to give them what they need on a girls' team. Now, do you think that's because of no interest, or is that because the powers that be are not interested? Because let's call a spade a spade,
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
just call a spade a spade. You go outside the inner city, and the powers that be make sure
They got some girls.
they got
sports
Yeah,
happening.
and they got
That's
girls
right.
sports, and they got what they need
That's
right.
equipment wise.
Yeah.
You don't have to get donations from random strangers. You don't have to figure out how you're gonna scrape up money to buy balls. They have a whole budget to make sure it happens. You understand what I'm saying? So my problem is, I think the powers that be in our city don't find females important enough to pour into them.
And I'm glad you said in our city, because I mean that's all you hear, and no disrespect, because Kevin Walls, and you hear all the names from the past.
Right.
Vic Starf and our mayor. But you don't hear anything.
About the women.
That's true.
Anything
About the women.
When I say nothing
How-
about
Didn't I say that?
Yes.
I said that on here
Yes.
episodes ago.
Yes.
pictures can be up on the
Right,
wall.
right, but that's not the
and
same as,
it's not the same.
you know what I'm saying?
And it's like I said before, there was a championship team
Yeah.
of Tawanda Preston
Yeah.
and all them. And Tawanda Preston and I ended up playing at
Yeah.
Rutgers, and she was one of the best centers.
Yes.
So to not even have her name
Right.
even come into the foray, it's sad.
And
sad.
it's like nobody, like it doesn't exist. Like it,
Right.
it doesn't even exist.
Doesn't.
And it's like we didn't exist. You understand what I'm saying? And when I hear people, and just for me in general, when I hear people say, yo, she was the bomb in basketball, like she used to play with Dawn Staley, and just, But I'm like, yeah, I was, but that didn't define me because we were never nobody else knows unless you were in that basketball world. Because even when I bring up your name, Carla, they like who? I'm like, yo, like she's like how do you when you bring up Pork? And here's the thing about Pork is I didn't watch Pork play basketball. I aspired to play baseball because I watched Pork play with Troy and Dotson and them in Sumner in the Sumner lot. Remember Sumner? They used to play in the Sumner lot. And I watched Pork out there playing baseball with my brother and them, and I was like, yo, I want to play baseball. That's what got me interested in baseball. But then later on, when I started getting involved in basketball, I knew that she played at Camden High. But my thing is, people don't even know about Pork and what she's done, and Cindy Brown. Like nobody now. When they did the Big Paul Classic, thank you, Anitra, for that. When she did the Big Paul Classic, the Big Cat Classic, or whatever that was, when she brought everybody back, I had just had knee surgery, but I still played. Wasn't my best game, but it was an opportunity for my Uncle Lenny and my dad to see me play, and they hadn't seen me play in years. And then I had just had the knee surgery, so I was out there a little bit, but you know, time had caught us. But it was an opportunity for everybody to see everybody for generations. And I know Anisha said she was thinking about bringing it back, but my thing is, it was opportunity even for the young girls to see who these women were that came before them. Although a lot of them don't respect us, but what they don't realize is if it wasn't for us, it would have never been to them.
True.
That's why you got so many programs right now that are defunct. That barely have players. Because these young women don't remember or don't want to acknowledge who came before them. You know, and they don't want, but they don't want to respect it when they find out.
But it's like, because I think like if that's ingrained in you, it would be a little different now.
And then my thing is,
like with the Kevin Walls and those type names and all that. I've been hearing it so much, seen them play, been hearing it, still hear. You know what I mean? Like it's a little different when this is Kevin Walls, such and such, such. Even though these younger kids might not like Kevin Walls, but when they hear and see and all that, it's a little different respect. They still have an idea.
But I think they don't give us the space for the kids to know. And this is what I say why. Anitra was the only one that I know for a long time that opened up the doors for the likes of us to come just to practice. Come to practice. I want the girls to see y'all. Come up to the practice. I want the girl. She opened up the door. But prior to that, nobody ever invited us to come into that gym. Nobody ever invited us to talk to the girls. Nobody ever invited us to tell them our story on how we went to big D1 schools. We got pregnant, or we did this, or we did that. Don't do what we did. We're here to tell you how to do it this way.
Got you.
Nobody gives us that space. And then when you bring it up, you went to Iowa State. You went. Listen, I had my pick of colleges. I chose because I was running for my parents. It wasn't the best choice. I was running for my parents because my parents were strict. But kind of probably should have stayed here. But my thing is, there's no space. And even when you talk to the middle school kids, these young people are so used to not knowing about females and female athletics. It's hard to open up the space. And then you got people like Carla that really doesn't, man, why should I tell my story? Why should I tell my story? That's, just why should I tell my story? That's like when Phillips put up, because somebody complained about the names that was on the wall. Certain people's names wasn't on the wall. So Phillips got together and figured it out, right? So he's put on Facebook, like, I'm looking for this person, this person, this person, this person. I was tagging up jokers. I was like, yo, pretty girl, they looking for you. They looking for you. Yo, Tracy, they looking for you. Give them your jersey number, give you that. Yo, he opening up the space. Yo, they looking for you. Listen, it's our time. They looking for you. Make sure they get your name. Let's go, let's get it. Because that's something, my thing is, they have a couple young people. They had one or two young ladies up there, but listen, it was women that did that shit before they did.
Facts. We have one sitting on the couch.
Right, and she a Hall of Famer.
That's your Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Like that story needs to be told. Like you said, like everybody needs to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think it will help them. Like I made but I was telling my grandbaby about Nellie, because Nellie's a very humble young lady. She doesn't talk about anything. You know, right? So I said to my grandbaby, I said, hey, take a picture with Nelly. I'm telling you, you're going to look back on this picture when you're in college and be like, yo, I know her. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know, you got to get in these pictures. Like, get in this picture. Take this picture. I'm telling you, this picture's going to mean something. It may not mean anything to you at 7,
you will.
but at 17, it's going to mean something.
You're going to know. You're going to know.
Right.
And that was the same back in the day. Like, you walk in the gym and you see the likes of KARLA and all of them, Cindy and Corey. Like, you just want to be around them. You know, that energy. Like I said, they were my old heads. So it was like, yo, I got to work on my handle. I got to, you know, I got to work on my speed. Like, I see what they doing. I got to make sure I can get there.
Definitely. Because KARLA, when you came out, was you all South Jersey? Did you make the all South Jersey team?
Yeah.
All group?
All group 4, all South Jersey.
And that's when we was group 4.
Yes, group 4.
Group 4, the big dogs. Group 4.
We was starting with the big dogs.
Not 3, not 2, not group 4.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's definitely what's up. Now, once your basketball, you know what I'm saying, you start playing at Rutgers and all that and whatnot. I know you started coaching a little bit, right? Because actually you coached it, was I think, if I'm not mistaken, you coached at Rutgers as an assistant for a little bit, right?
I coached at Rutgers as an assistant under Coach L.
Coach L. Shout out to Coach L. That's my girl.
And I think I worked with her maybe a year, maybe 2 years.
Okay.
That was so far away. But I've coached at Rutgers. I'm going back and forth several times. Over the years. I did like maybe 3 stints. At Rutgers as an assistant. But my first head coaching job for high school was actually at Pennsauken Tech.
We talked about that.
And as we said earlier, you know, those opportunities wasn't there for me to coach at Camden High. I did also have an opportunity to coach at Woodrow Wilson, and I know you didn't know that. That fell through. Bitter taste in my mouth, but I'm going to keep it. So I reached out to, I think her name was Christine Vespi. And she gave me that first shot. And I love her to death for that.
But it's funny how they'll put a man in front of a group of girls to coach a group of girls versus allowing a woman who has the same resume to be in front of our girls. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's always the space here that they'll, even with the softball, they'll put a man in front of our girls before they'll put a woman in front of our girls who has the same accolades as the man. And that's weird to me. And that's the space that we have in our city. That's the space that we have, right?
Yes, I was thinking about that, and we were going to talk about, I was going to ask you about, opportunities for women in coaching in general, but I was on that same page, whereas think about, my high school basketball coach. I could think of, and I'm sure it's more, but just off the top of my head, I know in the area it's 2 women. I think one in Ewing, and I forgot where the other one is at, that a woman is the head boys basketball coach in high school.
Right.
But on the flip side, you got a whole lot of guys that are head women's basketball coaches in high school. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like not only are y'all competing amongst, yourselves, then you throw in a group of men that's trying to get the same job as well. But you don't really have that problem on the flip side over here.
And I think that's weird for me because with the way society has been and a lot of the indiscretions that have been happening with coaches and students, that they're still forcing. They're not opening up the space for women to be head coaches of girls' programs. Like they'll put a man before they even look out to search for a woman.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
How do you want young women to number one, understand how to be successful in the sport when you don't have someone that looks like them or have gone through what they're about to go through instructing them? Like a man will never be able to teach a young woman what's going to happen on the next level of things. And now, mind you, in college, there's a lot of women head coaches. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to deal with women, but if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Well, I remember what I was about to say. So I'm going to get that out of my brain. What I was going to say was, I remember lots of times when I used to coach, like, during the summertime in Virginia, like, doing little camps. And it was male dominant, and it was some male players. I noticed that all the female coaches that were there were working with the younger males, 7 years old, 8 years old
Right.
because they figured, oh, well, you can handle, you have more
Motherly skill, tech,
yeah,
motherly.
Right,
not
right, right. Not
necessarily
your
that
coaching ability.
basketball,
Right,
or you
right,
have
right.
you're more tolerant.
Right, more
You know,
patience.
more patient. There
yeah,
you go, the
gotcha.
word. And I looked at that and I'm like, I mean, I love teaching whomever or coaching whomever, but to be in that situation all the time where
Right.
they're thinking, man, they're not really looking at what you can do. It's just you're patient, or you'll be able to, handle them not being able to dribble
Right.
that well,
Right.
or
Right,
so
I got you.
I just felt, those situations that I was in, I loved it, but at the same time, it's like, wow,
I
I
just,
couldn't believe that.
I'm going to say this, and I'm just going to put it out there. I've always felt, and I think you and I had the conversation, I always felt your skill set and your ability was always overlooked once you became old enough to be a coach, like a head coach. I always think in our community, they didn't give you your props, and they didn't give you the opportunity. I feel, from the outside looking in, the reason why I'm saying the outside looking in is because although I wasn't coaching, I was involved in a lot of the athletics that was citywide, right? So I'm watching these things unfold, and I see how some programs are falling short, and I'm like, she's right here. Like, she's right here. Have y'all ever thought about asking her? Have y'all ever thought about, and she's a teacher, have y'all ever thought about asking her? Like, did y'all think about asking her? Has anybody asked her? Like, that used to always be my question.
But I got my comeback when I was at Pennsauken Tech.
Okay.
Because even though Pennsauken wasn't known to be sports oriented,
Right.
everybody's like, Pennsauken Tech, oh
Right,
my
right,
God,
right.
don't play no sports there. That was my opportunity because I'm like, we can't go anywhere but up.
Right.
And that's what we did.
Right.
So, after 3 years of me being there, we got into the playoffs. We was getting our butt kicked by Al Dyer like 60, 30, But
Right.
that third year, we made it to the playoffs. We beat Camden High for the first time in school history. We beat Woodrow Wilson for the first time in school history. There were 2 girls that were on 1,000 points. That scored 1,000 points at Pennsauken Tech, and I'm quite sure there's nobody else, no other girls after them.
Right.
So that.
Who did you coach there?
I'm sorry.
Who did you coach at Piz?
Who did I coach?
Yes.
Teresa.
I'm trying to remember who went there, because I know Carmichael went there too. Keisha Carmichael went there.
Keisha Carmichael, but she was older.
Yeah,
Oh,
She was
she's
older.
behind me. I mean, in front of me.
I wasn't there with her,
Yeah.
but it was Jasmine White
Yes, I do.
and
remember her.
Felicia Little Bits. I think it's Gonzaga. She was like 4'11". Scored 1,000
Wow.
points.
That's what's up.
So I wanted to go there to show them that, because again, Camden High, Woodrow Wilson had all these great female programs.
Right.
You putting on your sneaks, you putting on your shorts, the same
Right,
way.
right,
Putting on
right,
your uniform
right.
the same way. Let's go.
Listen.
And
That's what's up.
that's the reason why I.
But I would still
Definitely.
say, and you heard it here, on Birdcage, there's opportunity in our city, and they be overlooking it.
Yes. That's a shame
Sis,
too. You know what I'm saying?
y'all need to get it together, because she's a very nice person.
Now,
She's a
let me ask you this. Now,
good
we got to
coach.
make sure.
What's up?
Do you want to continue to coach if an opportunity came up? Like, is that something still on your radar, or are you kind of like, nah?
It's always
nah.
on your radar. It's in
it's
your
always-
gut.
I'm
Yeah.
asking.
It's in your gut.
I'm asking her. Now, go to
But it's in your gut. That's like asking Bill Belichick, are you ever going to stop coaching?
You
He's
don't
going to say
know.
no.
You might say yes.
No, it's in your gut.
I want to hear from Carla.
We said before that wasn't a lot of. I hadn't seen a lot of players, athletes, out east, and Miss Ruiz, who's my principal at Thomas H. Dudley, she asked me to coach this year. So I said, yeah, I'll coach. But
Where you going to get the
I'm
kids
walking
from?
down them hallways. I don't see them.
So this is what I found out at Cooper's Point. This is what I found out. You just pull them in, right?
Right. Okay.
And you got to start from the bare bones.
Well, this,
Listen, and I did it at Cooper's Point. I created something. But I created something, right? And give the kids a little opportunity to find something within them.
yes.
Just know what you know. It ain't gonna be. We just gonna have a lot of bruises.
I've been there before because, like I said, when my
Vokey.
Yes. Yes. My first day coaching at Voki. They're in the gym, they running around. When I say running around, they running around. They're running around. And I'm like, all right, blow the whistle, let's do some layups. They crashing into each other. They fall on the floor. I had to turn my back. And I did. I turned my back and was like, oh.
Ooh, like what I would get myself into.
Yeah.
what I signed up for.
I did. I was like, oh, what in the world? But then after that,
right.
That's
what's up.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But my thing is for us now in the city, not only were girls far and few, now that we have so many high schools, girls are far and few.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be really, really hard to create a stellar program in the city, and because we got 1 million high schools, they building one across the street from my house. I don't even know who's going to go in there. Like, why do we need another high school? Like, where are we getting the kids from? Like, I'm sorry.
Yes. Where are we getting the kids from? It's the same high schools that's in the city. Like,
and then the pandemic for girls. The pandemic really hurt girls' programs. Yeah, it killed. Because once little girls sit still, and once a little girl sits still and they find out they might be pretty.
Oh, yeah.
It's a different ball game they play.
El Rapo.
They're not sweating.
It's El Rapo. Getting girls to be focused is really hard, too, on top of the fact that we had the almost 3-year break from girls sports because it was easy to cut girls programming out. It seemed like. Like during the pandemic, it was easy to say, you know what, we ain't doing that.
Right. Which is a shame. So how do we get that back? Like, what do you think? Like, is it possible? I mean,
this is my thought process. I watch baseball, right? And it's like 2 little girls on this team, 2 little girls on that team, 3 little girls on that team, 4. We got to get all them little girls and put them on one team.
Right.
I don't care where they live at in the city. Right. You just get all of those little girls and put them on one team. That's baseball, right? So now you get them interested in baseball. They're athletic. You start teaching them basketball, right? Maybe give them a little volleyball. So if you start with Little League, 11 little girls in Little League, you could kind of guide them. Because think about it, with girls, most girls play multiple sports. It's not like the boys where they just hone in on what most girls really play multiple sports. So if you could just get a group, because I was watching, because we're trying to do softball this upcoming year, me and Lando, just girls softball, so we could start them off 7th, 8th grade so they be ready for high school.
All right.
Because we got Audubon and all of them and see they loaded with girls in Little League. Loaded. They got 2 teams out there. We watched them one night, two separate teams. That means 22 girls. Anyway, so we figured, I said, listen, the only way we're going to get a team is we got to grab the 2 from the Cardinals, 2 from the Yankees, 2 from the Pirates. And then we got to go around to these schools and grab a couple more, and then we could create a Little League softball program. And then hopefully we could send, the older ones, be like, yo, you interested in that other sport? Go check this coach out. You know what I mean? I think that's the only way we're going to get it back. We got to start with them in Little League. Just cater to the girls.
Right. What you think?
I agree with you, when it's like trying to get a place, trying to get a gym. Because again, most of the gyms are just all opened up for
boys.
Gotcha.
In the summertime, boys don't have nothing to do. They're gonna come in there and just be playing around. They don't have to necessarily be the best at basketball or anything like that. They're gonna come to the gym just to shoot around. Girls is different. They're not just gonna
come in the gym.
And
they're not going to come with boys there.
Right.
Because even with the open gym situation that the Village Initiatives has, like my grandbaby goes, in the beginning when they first started, they used to let her come in and play. But like these this year that just passed, she goes in the gym now. She don't even really shoot. She might shoot around, but she don't get no runs. She don't get no runs, and because the boys take over. There's no space for just girls. So that's the thing too, finding that space.
And for those that's listening or viewers and all that type stuff, and if you know a friend, tell a friend, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all that type stuff. But also, especially here in my city, and I'm sure it's like that in other urban cities, but anyway, I'm talking about my city right now, Camden. We have resources right here. So my higher ups, man, y'all can make this happen. Reach out. Let them run the program. You ain't got to do the work. Y'all just got to fund it. You know what I'm saying? Let them do the work. Tracy, I know you got a whole lot on your plate, but you'll do the work for basketball. I already know that. You know what I'm saying? Karla just said she about to coach again, so I know she's with it.
That's
so,
it. Yeah.
All right.
We got some girls, but I'm available.
So we need. This is where. That's to me. That's where it needs to start. They need to reach out to you guys and your teammates and the girls you played with, and things like that. Because I know y'all can put the brain power together, some funding from the higher ups, and you can get something started. Because there's girls out here that play, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, they don't have nowhere to play. Because I know, you know, you're 10, 11 years old, whatever. You go to open gym, there's 1,000 boys there. You're not just gonna go out on the court like
Exactly.
I got next. You know, look at you like,
That's what I used to do.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you get involved
And I'm bringing my ball.
Yeah,
Guess
but
what?
see, that's you though.
Right,
that's you. That's not you. You know what I mean?
When we were
Just
playing,
one Tracy
we were
Hall.
aggressive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were
Y'all
aggressive.
Got
Now,
out there and balled.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I'd be
But-
like, yo, I got next. They'd be like, what? I said
Yeah, 'cause
I
that's
got
you.
next.
That's you. And I know I said it earlier.
Right?
When them pickup games, them runs at Rutgers Camden.
Oh, man.
When I got my 5, Karla, you want to run?
Listen,
You know what I'm
listen,
saying?
sis, I remember one time, I shot the ball, and you just rose up out of nowhere and just slammed. I was like, that was my sis right there. That
was my sis.
You just came out like, nah. Like, oh.
I always talk about when we had the law enforcement league, we was playing the cops, the firefighters, the corrections, the county, the state. I walk in the gym, they was like, what you I'm playing.
I'm playing.
And I used to tell this for 1 year I played with Davenport and I was like, bitch, if you don't put me in, keep playing with me. Like, you gonna stop. I'm not sitting here just to be cute. I said, and the crazy part about it is I was better than a lot of them on the
Most
team.
definitely. I already
Like,
know
y'all
this.
crazy. Put me in. Then when I
know
get
this.
in, everybody slacking.
Right,
You
right.
shout 2 or 3 J's. They was all
Nah,
start
they
playing her
wasn't
like,
right,
play her
exactly.
like a man. Hell no, don't play me like nothing now. Let me keep shooting your lights out.
Right?
Exactly.
Wrong with y'all. Like, and it's
exactly.
still, that's crazy that, like, those folks knew my
Right,
my
your
resume.
resume.
And I'm
That's
sitting on the
still,
bench like, yo,
but
you
yeah,
really not gonna
yeah,
put me in?
yeah,
I'm going in. Yo, hey, sub. Yo, you come out. I'm putting
I'm in
myself
this
in.
thing. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Now, Karla, before we get out of here, before we get into your future plans and all that, now, for those, again, you know, she played at Rutgers Camden. I guess that was your senior year, my sister's freshman year, I believe.
Yeah.
My
senior
sister, she was on the basketball team, another Rutgers Hall of Famer, you know what I'm
Say
saying?
your sister's name.
Bird.
My sister, well, I'm sorry. For those that don't know, I'm acting like everybody knows.
Right.
My sister Camilla Bird, you know what I'm saying? She was a freshman there. She played on the squad. And they share a very, very, very extreme rare. I'm not going to say it never happened, but this is the only time that I've ever seen or heard of this happening. You know what I'm saying? A rare moment in basketball history. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let Karla tell this story, what happened with her and my sister and the Rutgers Camden team at this particular game.
Well, we were the pioneers, I think.
We were the
back
pioneers then, right.
We weren't the Raptors.
Yeah, we weren't the Raptors.
You
That's
know,
that's the new age.
Yeah.
kids. We were the pioneers.
Pioneer Pride Night. We're playing Rutgers Newark. And
Our rival.
The gym is packed. Gym's packed. Everybody, all you hear is just everybody. So the refs, they called like 60 fouls that game. We went into 3 overtimes. So by the 3rd overtime, it's just me and Bird. That's what I call a Bird. Camilla, listen, first of all, let me tell you about Camilla. She's in the Hall of Fame, but she is the nicest, most sweetest person that will block your shot.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And just get it and pass it. Like no roar, no nothing. This phenomenal, and just glide down the court. Just glides down the court. So anyhow, our teammates foul out. It's just Bird and I on the court, and it's 4 of Rutgers Newark. Man, so in the 3rd overtime, we setting up for the tap. We win the tap. I couldn't believe it. She tapped it to me. I'm like. I'm going down the floor, so Bird, I lost my mind. I forgot where I was going. I didn't know which basket was ours. Didn't know. So I just ran over to our side in the corner. So I saw a bird glide down. I give her the ball. She lay it up, man. We up 74-72. The crowd is going crazy. Now it's 4 against 2. We winning.
4-2.
We winning. So I'm like, Bird, I got the middle. I got top. You get back. So I'm backpedaling and everything. Girl comes down the court on the right-hand side. She fumbles the ball almost like off her leg. So I'm running over to get the ball. She gathers it up. I put my hand on her hip. 3, foul. Game over. But we went in 74-72. So we had to forfeit the game because now you can't play
Right,
just with one person.
You know?
So, you know, the fans is going bananas. They're trying to get at the refs. They done booked off the court already. But, you know, that was the most memorable game.
That's crazy.
It's 60 some odd fouls.
That's first of all, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody's fouling out.
So, I mean, that was
Damn, coach even fouled out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that was just
Y'all used up everybody's fouls.
So that was a game I will never.
Yeah, I
never,
mean,
ever
how
forget.
could you?
Never ever forget.
4-2.
Yeah.
And they almost won.
And we
Like,
almost won.
They almost pulled it out. They almost pulled it out.
What you know what's funny about my career? Like, so a lot of people remember me as a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how I started. I started on the wing. I was shooting jumpers on the wing.
Okay.
And my senior year, we didn't have a point guard at Camden High. And Greg English asked me to switch over to the point guard position. I ain't had no clue.
Coach E.
No clue. And I think it was because of my speed.
Right,
Again,
okay,
I remember
okay.
in the 4th grade they told me I
So
was
he
too
was
fat
slow
and
like
chubby.
that.
And I switched over, and that's how I also got recruited for Monmouth.
Okay.
They thought I was a point guard, and here I am playing D1 point guard.
Right.
Like,
What
you know what I mean?
like, what am I doing?
Yeah, and I had to learn real quick. But then
Right.
once I re-enrolled at Rutgers, I was a sophomore, and I went right on back to my 2-guard.
Right.
And it wasn't until, again, my junior year, we only had 7 players. And the point guard that we had left the team, and I had to take over again.
Step in.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I'm glad I had that opportunity and that
Right.
chance to learn
So
both
you
that
was
dual
good with
positions.
it. Yeah.
But I don't know which one I like better.
Hey, I'm saying, listen, she's like that combo guard. You know what I'm saying? Because Karla can handle it, and she can score. You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely good times. You know what I'm saying? You play anymore? Like every once in a while, get out there? Nah, you know, mess around.
I tore my ACL my junior year.
Okay, that's right.
And,
that's right.
I just do a lot of walking. I don't shoot around a lot. I don't play a lot. Just walk. Keep me
Was
safe.
that what you did to your name?
Meniscus and my patella. I jammed it. Jammed it off the track up into my thigh.
Oh, wow.
But what stopped my basketball career though was rotator cuff
shoulder,
from blocking shots.
Right.
Remember, I averaged 4 or 5 block shots a game, and I put my
the
whole arm out.
The difference is
You
you
know,
was like, bah, get out of here.
Yeah, that's how.
my
Your
sister
sister
was
was all like, "Nah, you knew I was coming."
You know what I'm saying?
I averaged.
That's the difference.
We used to try to get her to scream like, ah!
And it was crazy because even though I scored anywhere from like 9 to 15 points a game. College got me for defense and my defense of playing. It wasn't my scoring ability. It was the rebounding ability. Thank you, Coach Fang. The rebounding ability, the boxing out, and being able to defend and block shots, and I was fast, so I was able to move, transition up and down the court. All my scholarship offers came off of defense, and it's crazy because when I coach, I always say to kids, you know, for me, anybody can score, but defense wins games. You know what I mean? And if you can block up that middle and keep the other team from scoring, we can stay in the game. Right?
I had 2 scholarship offers.
That was it? Yeah?
No lie.
Okay.
2 scholarships. Because, you know, I never thought about college. You know, my father, he was like, "Oh, you're too smart not to go."
Gotcha.
And I can't even say it was an offer. I can't even say two.
Right.
Because what was her name? She coached at Delaware. She coached at Delaware, and she happened to be the old coach that was at East Cam in the middle of the team that I quit.
Right.
So she knew me as a little chubby sixth grader.
Right.
So, they wanted me to go there, and I'm like, but she ain't never seen me play, So the only person that, schools, like I said, was Monmouth and then Stony Brook.
Okay.
Stony Brook. And it's funny because the coach Oscar Brooks, I love that guy. He comes to Rutgers, and he's coaching with L. And he was like, man, I had a chance to recruit you. I said, really? He said, yeah. But I was like, we don't want no girl from Camden. I'm like, wow.
And
I was like, thank you for sharing that story.
Coach
O. But look now.
Yeah, right.
But for me, I think a lot of my offers came about because during my generation, because I'm 4 years behind you, camp became a thing. 5-star, John Chaney, Sunny Hill, and a lot of scouts was coming to see. Like one of my counselors, my first year at camp was Willie Glass from Atlantic City.
I never went to a basketball camp.
Right.
I went to Virginia.
Okay.
Actually, that was my first and only basketball camp as a senior, and that was because my sister Tony lived in Virginia, and we was visiting.
Right.
So I was like, I was a camp at George Mason. All right.
But see,
that was it.
Yeah, my thing is I watched the likes of. I didn't start playing basketball until I was in 8th grade. I was a baseball chick. I didn't play basketball. I didn't touch a ball until I was in 8th grade. So going into my 9th grade year, Stacy Threadgill, God rest his soul, and Vic Carstarfin always went to camps. And Stacy's my godbrother. And Stacy was like, yo, you need to get into basketball. We go to this camp every summer. I said, I don't know how to play basketball. They're like, well, that's what camp is for. Camp is there to teach you fundamentals, da-da-da-da-da. So my summer going into my freshman year of high school, I went to John Chaney, Sunny Hill. And that's when I came upon a roommate who's now a Hall of Famer college coach. My roommate, who I'm not going to say her name, she became my roommate going into my freshman year. She became my roommate and my kind of mentor freshman, sophomore, summers, the summer before my freshman year and summer before my sophomore year. Me and her became really close.
Shout out to Dawn Stella.
And her game was amazing.
Look, I work with her at Cherry Mall.
Her game was amazing, and we were teenagers, and we became friends. And she was like, "Yo, sis, we gonna get your game together." And that summer we worked on my game with a bunch of guys. We just worked on my game, and then next thing I know, she was who she is, and I was having a baby. So, but it was because of the camp and the relationship with her and the different opportunities and being around the Valeria Whitings and those type of young ladies that was all on the 1996 United States Olympic team. They were girls I played against and played with in the summers. So that's how my college stuff came to be. The likes of the Ursinuses, the Salisburys, the Dell States, the Hamptons, the Iowa States, the Illinois. I had a lot of offers, but
because that's where even now, you look at the AAU situation now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of college coaches. We spoke about this before, but if I'm recruiting and I have the opportunity to go to a camp or go to an AAU weekend type situation where I can see everybody. Besides going to Camden, and I got to fly out to Kentucky, and I got to go to LA, then I got to, or or if I'm just the East Coast recruiter, I got to run up and down the East Coast. Why? When I could just
go to this camp
or go to this
and it makes it easier. And I know it was harder back then, and even recruiting is easier now than it was back in our day.
With social media, and all that type stuff.
And huddle and all you know what I mean.
So
Like my dad used to videotape my games, right? And on a big old camcorder, and then he used to have like a camera to take pictures of me, like and then you gotta compile all of that together to kind of.
Now you need is one of these.
Tape
it and upload it. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to go. You know what I'm saying? So, Karla, before we get out of here, future plans. You know what I'm saying? I know how long you been teaching?
Oh wow, I'm going into my 23rd.
23rd.
My 23rd.
Okay.
Either 22nd, 23rd year.
Okay.
What do you teach?
First, I started off teaching 3rd and 4th grade, and this is, I think, my 7th year teaching 6th and 7th grade English.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at that.
That's what's up.
But you know what? You say, look at that. Everybody like, weren't you the gym teacher? That's what I get all the time.
Right.
You just saw me, in athletic gear.
Right.
I'm not the
coaching or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
No disrespect to the gym
Oh,
teachers.
nah. I wish I was a gym teacher.
Exactly, me
Man,
too.
I get to go to work every day like this. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I would love it.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, so yeah, future. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
Future plans.
Waiting for a high school coaching gig.
I can't say that.
okay,
I can't say that.
okay.
Only because again, if I were to stay in this area, I would say no, because I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see it.
The potential.
Yeah, I would have to again step out of the city, and probably work somewhere. If there was, like I said, if I saw it, yeah.
Right.
You know, I would, but I'll stick with the middle school if someone else are there.
Right. Gotcha.
And then
Gotcha.
I'm just
I
really
feel you.
focusing on. I'm just really focusing on the English.
Okay.
With the middle schoolers.
Okay.
And doing other things. That's it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Got any shout outs, anything before we
Oh,
wrap
any
this
shout
up?
outs. Man. No.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
Nah, they see me walking. All I want y'all to do is to keep it moving, for real. You gotta keep it moving.
Facts.
Because we get older, and you know what? I look at my former players, and I used to tell them when I was coaching, you gonna get older, and I'm telling you, all them oodles and noodles and all them things that you eating together is gonna catch up on you. So just keep it moving, stay in shape.
That's what's up.
Because people need you.
Yeah.
People need you.
Yeah.
Depend on you. So,
Facts.
that's
Definitely
about
facts.
it.
Definitely facts. So again, Karla, thank you. You know what I'm saying, for hopping on episode 66.
Oh man,
You know what I'm saying? Just sharing your story a little bit, and letting the folk know who Karla is. Legendary. These folk need to know who she is. You know what
They
I'm
need to
saying?
respect
So
who she
they
is.
respect
Oh, wow.
who she
Put
is.
some respect
Put
on her
some
name.
respect on her name.
That part,
You know what I'm
that part.
saying? So that's why we definitely wanted to have you on, and you know what I'm saying,
Thank
and
you.
just get your opinions on some things that's going on in the city with basketball and all that. So thank you, definitely
Oh,
thank
man.
you for
Thank you,
coming out.
guys.
You know what I'm saying? Again, call this the birthday edition. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday again to my cousin Nay. You know what I'm saying? We had a good time with him. You know what I'm saying? And I already know what cousin Tracy is about to talk about. What happened on Friday at Topgolf. So put it out there. You know what I'm saying? I'll let her tell the story, but it is what it is. Cousin Tracy, thank you. I love you. You know what I'm saying? There's no Birdcage Show. Remember that. So take it easy over here. There's no
Absolutely,
Birdcage Show without cousin Tracy.
Again, my boys turned 52 this week. We had A on Tuesday and such yesterday. Well, Friday. I'm sorry, Friday. When this airs, Monday, Friday. So, we went to Topgolf.
Oh no.
I've never been to Topgolf. I do not know how to golf. I've always wanted to learn. My doctor said it would be great for me because I'm high end and I need to relax. So I wanted to go to Topgolf. So Seth had this get together at Topgolf. Seth sucks. Seth sucks bad.
Out, like,
Here is a coach that teaches baseball, that teaches people how to swing, how to rotate your hips. He's freaking horrible at swinging the club.
he got a swing in the air.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right.
He hit the tee. He didn't hit the ball. He put the ball on the ground. The only reason why I'm not showing the video, because those that know me know I'm not quick on the draw with my camera, and I didn't have it out. But I will post the score. Now, here's the thing about the score. I didn't know how Top Dog really worked and what the actual target and goal was. Once I locked in and figured out what I was supposed to do, I came in third. Scott Shanklin's name is up there for one, but his number's padded because another guy shot twice on his name and boosted his score, helped him out. So, I'm 3. Seth is dead last, y'all. We had to let him swing the ball, hit 5 balls just to get 10 points. Needless to say, this was the end of the night. So because it's his birthday, we let him go in. Go on, Seth, hit again. Hit again. Hit again. Hit one more time. Because he wasn't hitting nothing. But I had to say that because here's a man that everybody calls Coach Bird. Here's a man that follows behind his father, who's a Hall of Famer, all-star in several sports. Here's a man that don't vacation because he coaches 3 sports a year. Can't hit a golf ball. And that's all. Oh, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So happy birthday to both my cousins. This is the birthday edition,
Yes,
and I'm out.
I said, take it easy on me.
Yo,
She went off,
yeah,
yo.
I know.
Yo, you had to see
I
it.
gotta practice.
I
or
would,
something.
yeah. We gotta go back. We gotta go back.
Yeah, so I gotta redeem myself.
Yes,
you know
you
what I'm saying?
do.
I gotta redeem
Because we're going to
myself.
post this score.
Yes.
So when we go back, we'll post the better score because I think in his head, and yes, it was his birthday, but he was not intoxicated.
Yeah,
so he cannot
I can't
use
even
that
blame
excuse.
that. I can't even blame that.
He cannot use that excuse.
I can't
He
even
had
use
all
that.
his faculties.
I did.
You was horrible.
I was. I can't even say nothing to try to, I was bad. But next time, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to get this right. The competitor in me is going to make it happen.
Yes.
I'm going to get it
now
right.
that I know what I'm doing, I'm ready to go. We in there next week.
I'm going to get it right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, one more thing before we get out of here. The Gaslit Streets podcast. You can find it on any podcast streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast platform you use. Remember we had Veed on, Kelsey's sister. I think she's like episode 59 or so. She has a podcast called The Gaslit Streets, her and Steven. And for episode 4, they had me on as a guest. So that's available now. We'll make sure let you know where you can find it, but you can find it on, like I said, all your podcast streaming platforms. Again, it's called The Gaslit Streets. And your boy, Coach Bird, was a guest on episode 4, which is out now. So check that out when you get a chance. And shout out to them guys. Keep doing what you're doing. On that note, episode 66 is in the books. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I'm Sechuayo, a.k.a. Coach Bird. I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show, and we'll talk to you soon.
It was a stone groove, my man.